Would I rather be a free man in a grave or living as a puppet and a slave? This is the question that lies at the center of Detroit Become Human, an intriguing, emotional, and sometimes exhilarating gaming experience on the PlayStation 4. By science fiction standards, Quantic Dreams has created a compelling and believable future. This bleak, technologically advanced world is brought to life by an art direction that's among the most impressive we've ever seen on the console. Detroit tells the story of a future where androids are a part of everyday life. We see this world through the perspective of three machines with unique narratives and experiences: Kara, Marcus, and Connor. While Detroit lacks the lush, picturesque scenery of Uncharted 4, God of War, or Horizon Zero Dawn, it does boast what I would call the most stunning suburban environment I've experienced in a video game, with the most lifelike character models as well. So much of this story hinges on the ability to convey sincere emotions, and Quantic Dreams' creative team have done just that, of course with help from a terrific cast of voice actors. Unlike its predecessors, you definitely won't find any French kids trying to pass as American in Detroit. Speaking of previous titles, many fans of Quantic Dreams' Heavy Rain in 2010 were disappointed by the follow-up release 3 years later, Beyond Two Souls. Its failure to progress the genre along with its jumbled mix of gameplay elements left many wanting more. I'm pleased to say Detroit nails this variety, with multiple characters presenting an ideal balance of world building, crime scene investigation, and quick-time action that we've come to expect from this developer. This is finally the logical progression from Heavy Rain. Given the fascinating setting and graphical fidelity of Detroit, I always knew it had the potential to be a masterpiece, but believed this would come down to the writing. I'm pleased to say David Cage has hit it out of the park and for the most part steered clear of over-the-top cheesy dialogue or ham-fisted allegories that could undermine what is an interesting story to unfold. The themes of Detroit aren't new to the sentient android stories we've seen before in Hollywood time and time again, but the story is told in a way that really made me ask questions about what I believed or how I would react in this fictional future. Obviously, player choice is a huge factor in Detroit, and I found it a welcome addition to see the flowchart at the end of every chapter showing every action and decision, often revealing a whole ton of hidden consequences to explore on a second playthrough. The struggle of the androids reminded me a lot of the mutants' plight in X-Men. Will you take charge to save your people, like Magneto, or try to change people's hearts and minds, like Professor X? I found myself wavering back and forth at times, which to me is a good sign of the complexity in Detroit's narrative. Now, is the game perfect? Not at all. I don't like using the touchpad or motion controls, and unfortunately there were times I felt like an idiot, unable to trigger the exact movement required to satisfy the on-screen prompts. There were times I really just wanted the option to run while exploring or investigating a large area, but this isn't available. The story is a little bit slow to get going, but then again this does help build the world of Detroit Become Human. I just know the pacing could turn off some of the more impatient players. With that said, I can't wait to go back to the start and see how things play out differently. I expect this kind of replayability will turn your 12 to 15 hour campaign into an experience of more like 20 to 30 hours or more. If you have any interest in this game, I really recommend picking it up for a memorable experience that really shows what you can accomplish on the PlayStation 4's hardware. For more on Detroit Become Human, keep your ears and eyes on the 8-Bit Collective at 8bit.net.